Good afternoon, guys. Just thought I'd pop on for 5 minutes just to let you know, in case you don't. Many of you may, some of you might not, but just in case you don't, I thought I'd let you know. There is a new thing going around now, ladies and gentlemen. A friend of mine called me up. They had the car impounded and they went to fetch the car back. They paid the amount for to have it impounded. They paid the fee and they said, no, it's £400. Have you got the insurance with you? And she showed them the insurance. She said, no, this hasn't got it on. And basically what it is now, it come into force 2 or 3 months ago, where if your car gets impounded now, there's a thing on your insurance you have to have. It's impounding insurance. If you haven't got this insurance, I don't know how much to charge you on your insurance, but if you haven't got this insurance, it costs you £400 to get your car back. And even if you have got it on your insurance, once your car gets impounded, it only covers you when your car's impounded for 30 days. After the 30 days are up, then it becomes void. So you've got to pay the £400 anyway. So I just want to make you aware of that and check with your insurance to make sure that you haven't got to pay it or whatever, because that sounds terrible to me. I don't understand why. They've not let people know. It should at least be on the news, or, your insurance company should be at least telling you about these things and not just letting you wait till the fact if your car gets impounded. And it's all been brought in with the quarantine. So I would imagine it was in the beginning when people was going out to the shops or whatever, or going out more than once a day. So there was impounding the cars and stuff like that. So just bear in mind and just look into it, guys, for your own benefit, really. Make sure that you either have to have it or you don't. But the person who called me, that was gutted, because they said it's standard, so just check it. The other thing I want to tell you about is the 23rd of May. We are going to New Scotland Yard to put in charges for sedition and treason from 1972 right up to date. So it involves every politician, every government that's been on the government payroll since 1972 is been committed sedition and treason, because they've all been complicit in it. So I'll be going in to put them charges in. Be grateful of any support if you can make it on that day, not to be involved in the action, just to come and witness it. So it strengthens our case. If they see more people there who are witnessing it and want to see justice done, it's all better in our favour. So if you can, you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. We're still going to be doing that action anyway. And the other thing I was going to say is, you need to start using your rights, guys, your inalienable rights, because now the interest rates have dropped below zero. So everything in the bank now that you've got in the bank, you'll be charged interest on. They'll be charging you money for having your money in the bank. They'll be coming after you for your mortgage. So when you can't pay your mortgage, they'll be kicking you out. But if you've noticed, in the big cities near you, Birmingham, Manchester, London, Newcastle, you'll probably see these big high-rise buildings, flats going up. The idea is to get you off the land, out your houses, into these new high-rise buildings in the cities, because the smart cities, it's all to do with Agenda 21. Then you get the 5G, then you get the chip in your hand, and that's when it all starts. That's when it all starts, ladies and gentlemen, because then, once that system's in, you're going to be credited, obviously, and all your information that'll be in here when this chip happens. And then if you want to go on holiday or whatever, you'll have to accumulate a point system like in China. If you've not got enough points, you won't be able to go on holiday. And the only way you're going to get the points is by being good, by not saying nothing, by adhering to everything, every regulation and that the government's saying. People like me would never have any chance of going anywhere, because I'll just be on stop all the time, and they just want us to starve to death out the way, because they don't like people that go against the government. and your government is tyrannous and corrupt. And if you don't believe me, look at what's happening in America now, guys. In America now, people on benefits have been sent a letter to say, if you do not have this test for COVID, you won't be able to have any benefits until such times you do go in and have the test. So what they've basically done to everybody, they've put everybody on furlough. And what they've done, everybody now on this system who isn't working, and there's millions who's going to lose their jobs through it, you'll all be on benefits. So to keep having the government give you these benefits, you're going to have to do everything you're told. And like at the moment, you've got to have this test. And then at the end of the day, if you test positive when you go for this test, and your children don't, they're going to remove your children from the home. It's there, go look it up. It's there. It's unbelievable. And in some parts of America, you ain't even going to be able to leave your house. They're going to send people around to get your groceries, to get your prescriptions, etc., if you don't have this test. It's absolutely diabolical what they're doing. And it's only because we're allowing them to do it, ladies and gentlemen. It's all the only way they're getting away with it. It's because we, the people, are allowing it. You've got inalienable rights. Inalienable rights can never be taken away from you. They cannot force you to do anything. These are your born rights. Go check your inalienable rights out, because you've all got them. Every single one of the people on this planet is born with them. It doesn't matter whether you're a multi-billionaire or you're a homeless person. You've all got these inalienable rights, and they cannot touch them. Only if you allow them to. If you allow them to trample all over you and take them away, more fool you guys, because they will do. But if you don't, yes, they can arrest you, but when you go to court and you know your rights, that'll all be retracted, as you've seen now with the police. The police now have been told they haven't got the powers to social distance people and that, because they know they are now beginning to encroach on everybody's inalienable rights, and they've got to be very careful, because the people will be up. And that's what needs to happen. The people need to start using these inalienable rights that you've got to fight back, because it's the only tool you've got. But it's the most effective tool and the best tool you could ever have. So, guys, it's down to all of us. If you want a future for your children and you don't want them in this beast system, enslaved, all living work, and do as you're told, or you can't have anything, what sort of system and democracy is that? It's not a democracy. It's downright communism. But people will do what they want to do. But I'm just saying to the people who are there behaving, who are saying, I haven't seen my grandkids, I haven't seen my kids, or whatever, blah, 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 when you live, you've split up. I ain't seen my kids and I want to see my grandkids and I haven't seen them. But you're pushing it to the point where you won't be able to see them again. Because don't forget, social services are going to love this. Social services are going to love this, ladies and gentlemen. It's like they've got the golden ticket in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. That's what it is for the social services. Because now, they haven't even got to make anything up. It's all been put there for them. And the only way you're going to stop them is by learning your inalienable rights to stop taking your children. Because once your children have gone, and you'll see this by many, many people, once your children have gone, it's very hard to get them back. Virtually impossible. So we're trying to educate people and wake you up to this fact that what's going on, and it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. It's not ever going to get any better while you let these people trample all over your rights. Now, you either do or you don't. It's no skin off my nose, because I'm doing my rights. I stick to my inalienable rights to the book, and they're never ever going to encroach on my inalienable rights. What you guys do about it, you wake up or you don't, you use your rights or you don't. But all I'm telling you is, if you don't, things are just going to get worse for you. They're not going to get any better anytime soon. In fact, if ever. These have got an agenda now, Agenda 2130, New World Order, cashless society. And they're pushing for that. And I've seen one today. The children now are all getting rashes and everything, if you've noticed. But I saw a video today of a lady who was pushing a trolley around the supermarket, and had got the child in, you know them on the baskets where they sit and put the legs through. The child was sitting in there, and it started being uncomfortable and everything else and crying. When the lady got home, a few hours later, this child's legs come up all in a massive big rash and everything else, and was in pain because of the chemicals that's been sprayed on the trolleys when you go shopping. So be very careful when you go in shopping with your children, when they're walking by the side holding the handle or whatever, or sitting in these things, because the chemicals that they're spraying on them, and they ain't doing it properly, or there's something they're not doing right, because the children now, when they're sitting in these things and that, are getting rashes. You couldn't make it up. But again, nobody should be able to tell you where you can go, when you can go, what you can do, what you can't do. Your inalienable rights are to life, to freedom, and pursuit of happiness. And the three main ones in your liberty, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, the three main ones in your liberty they are trampling all over. It's your freedom of movement, freedom of choice with these vaccines, and your right to privacy. All being trampled on because we're allowing it. When these vaccines come, you shouldn't need a letter, this, that and the other. You should just be able to say, I'll respectfully decline this vaccine because it goes against my inalienable rights of choice, freedom of choice, and I don't want to have it, so I'll respectfully decline it. Don't refuse it, just respectfully decline it. There shouldn't be nothing they can do about it because it's your inalienable rights. But people don't believe they've got them. If you don't believe you've got them and they'll say, well, you've got to have it unless you can tell me a reason why. You've just told them a reason why. I've got inalienable rights and I'm going to respectfully decline because that goes against my freedom of choice, again, another one, and my right to privacy. I'm not having a vaccine. And that's all you should need to say to these people. But the more people that give up the inalienable rights, the more they're going to take them. But it's you as an individual. Don't worry about what Joe Bloggs or Mrs. Smith next year are going to do. Worry about what you're going to do. And stick up for your rights. If they want to give their rights away and have the jab or whatever they want to do, or want to stay at home, let them do it. I've just been to Belarus. I've just got back, as you all know. No social distancing over there. No lockdown. 122 deaths since January. That should tell you all you need to know. If this was a deadly, deadly virus, like they're saying, they would all be dropping like flies. But they're not. Everybody's going about the business, and you've got none of this going across the screen like you have here in Sky and BBC. So many more infections, so many more deaths, another 500 deaths today. You don't have none of that. Because that's just there to scare the shit out of you and keep you compliant. Over in Belarus, it's the newsreader, and all they say at the beginning and at the end of the news flash, of the news programme is, just be careful, ladies and gentlemen. If you have a temperature or you're feeling unwell, stay home. As long as you've not got a temperature and you feel all right, go to work, go about your business as normal. And they've built up herd immunity. That's what they've built up. And that's the way everybody should have done it. But now, They've sat you in your houses, ladies and gentlemen, breathing the same air all day long, wiping all the surfaces down every 5 minutes, washing your hands every 5 minutes, and now you've got no immunity. So when they let you out, you're going to be susceptible to even a common cold. And even that can probably put you in hospital with a low immunity. You've got to wise up, guys. Bacteria is normal. Normal bacteria on your work surfaces and that, it's there to help, to improve and build up your immune system. And you're washing it all away by doing this and by wiping all your surfaces down. There's no germs in the house, no bacteria in the house to help build your immunity back up. So of course you're going to be as low as anything on your immunity. You're going to go back out during the flu season and everybody's going to be really poorly. It's not rocket science, it's basic common sense. But all this complying, wearing a mask, same as a mask, you breathe in and then you breathe the CO2 out. When you got the mask on like this, you're rebreathing all the bad shit you've just breathed out, you're breathing straight back in. Of course you're going to feel bad. People passing out. Somebody had a car crash wearing a mask. Wearing a mask in a car by themselves in America. Smashed the car up because they passed out because they got a mask on. These people are all going to be done for what they're doing. They're going to face justice for what they're doing. If the people all rise up and do the right thing, these people can do things peacefully and lawfully, and you can bring all these people to book because they know what they're doing is treasonous against the people, the sovereign people of every nation. And they know it. But they can't enforce and enact your rights, my rights. Only we, the people, can enact our rights and say, no, enough is enough. They ain't going to do it for you because they're in control. They love it. And these masks, they're not for what they say they are. If you look everywhere, especially in the UK and America, you've got CCTV cameras on every street corner in all the cities and every housing estate mainly now. So when they're monitoring everybody and they say, oh, for talking sake, we're in Blackpool Town Centre. And everybody, they've all got masks on, look. Great, they're all complying. And then they come to somewhere like Birmingham or something and they've got them on. Oh, only 2 people have got the masks on. So you'll find then the propaganda in Birmingham will go up because they're not complying. But they'll back off in Blackpool because they're all complying. And this is how they know where to hit more with more propaganda more than anywhere else because they're monitoring who is compliant by wearing the masks and who is not. You're playing right into their hands, ladies and gentlemen. You think you're doing it for your health, you're not. You are doing it to see who's obeying and who is not obeying. Start saying no. Start using your inalienable rights and get your lives back. Because they've got no right to shut the country down. They've got no right to lose you, your livelihoods and your houses. They ain't losing nothing. The end of this, Boris Johnson will still have all his nice houses. He'll still have a job. He'll still get a nice big salary. Any famine that did come along, they ain't going to be affected. You've got to just look at what's happening, guys. They ain't suffering at all. None of them are at Parliament now. They ain't furloughed. They're getting full wages. They ain't going to lose their houses. You've got to start and be wise and use your brains and think of what's going on and why it's being done. And it's not being done for our benefit. Look around. Open your eyes, ladies and gentlemen. Because this is all wrong. It stinks to high heaven. But only we, the people, are going to be able to do anything about it. But I'll leave it there, guys. Have a think about it. And please, start using your rights. Start looking at things. Stop watching that television in the corner. Switch it off and look at the real world. Not the propaganda world and the doom and gloom they're pushing. You hardly heard of it in Belarus. Nobody said anything. The media don't say anything. And you know what? Go look at the videos I've put on Facebook. Everybody's walking about, everybody's got a smile on the face, everybody's happy. The entertainers are still there by the side of the rivers and that, entertaining the people on an evening. And it's great. Economy, still got an economy. Their economy ain't going bust. People ain't losing their houses and their livelihoods over there. It's all been done because they crashed the banks. They robbed all the people's money. It nearly happened in 2008, but it got saved. And now it's happening again now because there's no money for any pensions. That's why they want to frighten all the old people to death, because there's no money in the pot. And there's no money in the pot for all of you who are like 40 odd now who've been paying in for the last 20 odd years. And they know it. That's why they're trying to do all these things and enslave everybody. They're not only pressing the reset button with the economy, they're going to press the reset button on humanity if you're not careful. And all going to end up enslaved. Believe it or don't believe it. Don't really care. I know what I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to go down on my knees. I'm going to go out proud. Fighting. All our ancestors who fought in wars did it for the right reasons. They did it to give us the right what we've got now. And we're going to throw all that away and enslave all our children. And that's wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Because if you realised just how bad, satanic, paedophilic these people who rule you are, just come and snatch your children whenever they feel like it in the future. Because you know why? Because you are giving them the green light. Because now, with what's going to be happening now with these tests and you take your children away, nobody's going to be doing that because they're all too scared. You're giving them the green light for in the future to do even more, to do what they want. I can't tell you, stand up and do the right thing, because it's not me. Only you in here and your conscience is going to do that. But I'll leave it there, guys. I don't bear anybody any malice. Just do what you want to do. But I say, use your rights and fight. I'll speak to you all later, guys. I love every single one of you.